Kids. It's Miss Maggie here with your Sunday lesson. I hope you guys have had a great week. We're going to continue with our lesson in the Laugh and Learn Kids Bible by Phil Visker. And like I always say, if you don't have it, no big deal, because we're going to read it to you anyway, okay? There's some tricky bits in this story, so if you have any questions, please feel free to message me and I'll do my best to answer them for you, or any questions at all. So let's get started. Joseph and his brothers were in Egypt. Everyone was all right and they had enough food, which was great. But which of God's promises had come true? Had Abraham's family become a great nation? No. Abraham and Sarah had a son, and all of his kids and their kids numbered about 70 people. That's a big family, but it's not enough to be a whole nation. Did they have their own land? No. They were living in Egypt, someone else's land. Had they blessed the whole world? They didn't even know what that promise meant yet. How does one family bless the whole world? Of the 3 promises given to Abraham, at that point, a total of 0 had come true. Well, Jacob's sons had sons, and their kids had kids, and their kids had kids, a lot of kids. There were hundreds of kids, and then thousands of kids. Then the Pharaoh who was friends with Joseph died, and there was a new Pharaoh, and then a new Pharaoh after that. And pretty soon Egypt was being ruled by a Pharaoh who knew nothing about Joseph. He just knew that there were thousands and thousands of these people running around, these children of Israel. Remember how God changed Abram's name to Abraham and Sarai's name to Sarah? Well, God changed Jacob's name to Israel. So all of Jacob's children and his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren became the children of Israel. They were called the Israelites. Now, the new Pharaoh said, hey, there are too many Israelites around here, and he decided to do something about it. First, he made the Israelites slaves to the Egyptians. Not good. A slave is a person who is owned by another person. A slave had to do whatever his or her owner said. Being a slave meant the children of Israel had to do whatever Pharaoh said. They had to build stuff, they had to farm stuff, they had to clean stuff. Being slaves also meant they could never leave Egypt, ever. Which was a big problem, because if you remember, God's second promise was that his people would have their own land. How can they have their own land if they can't ever leave someone else's? But it got worse. The children of Israel kept having more kids, more and more kids. Eventually, there were so many babies that Pharaoh decided to do something really bad. Get rid of the Israelites. Even the Israelite baby boys, he said, should be thrown into the river. Then God gave one Israelite woman an idea. When her baby boy was young, she made a basket that floated like a boat and put her baby inside. Then she hid the basket in the tall grass at the edge of the river and waited to see what God would do next. A group of Egyptian women were washing at the river, and they noticed the basket. They opened it up, and what? There was a baby inside! One of the women decided that she would take him home and raise him as her own son. Can you guess who that woman was? It was Pharaoh's daughter, the daughter of the king of Egypt. Pharaoh's daughter brought home the Israelite baby to live in the palace just like an Egyptian. And right next to Pharaoh, she gave the baby a name, Moses, and he was about to become a very big part of God's rescue plan. Here are some tricky bits about today's lesson. You may be thinking, if slavery is wrong, why does it happen so often, even in the Bible? Many of the things that happen in the Bible went against God's heart for people. Remember when Adam and Eve first sinned? God's world got turned upside down. Today we understand that owning another person is wrong. We should continue to pray and fight for those who are mistreated. We're going to make our own basket, okay? Look at this mess I have because I was playing with this earlier. This can be very difficult. Don't stress, okay? So what you need is a piece of paper, doesn't matter what color, some yarn, doesn't matter what color, some scissors, and some tape. All right. I have a marker. I'm going to draw a circle on my paper, okay? Circle. Now I'm going to cut. I'm actually going to make another circle in the middle. Okay? All right, and I'm going to cut lines down to meet that circle. Now, I'm going to take a little piece of tape and we're going to take your yarn inside there and tape it in this circle. Okay? Then we're going to start weaving out, in, out, okay, out, in, out, in. And we just start weaving in and out of the paper strips that you've cut. Okay, see, we're close here at the top. I've got my paper because, you know, my circle wasn't perfect, because nothing is, right? So some of my pieces are shorter than the others. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, make this piece, I'm gonna cut it off. Yeah! Then I'm gonna bring it down through the bottom here. Oh, I forgot I already made pieces. I'm gonna tape it to the bottom, real tight. Okay, and then you can leave it like this, or you can cut extra paper off the top, give it a little haircut. Okay, boom, we made a basket. What do you want to put in it? If you have a little picture of Moses, you can put Moses in there. Or I'm gonna put my tape and my marker in there. Put your cars.
or your hair bands, or I don't know, what else can I fit in there? You could use it for something, I don't know. But here's our basket. We made it because we're awesome. Out of paper and yarn for me, out of whatever you have at home for you. And there's our basket. I had so much fun with you guys today, learning about baby Moses and making a basket. So let's end on a prayer. Dear God, thank you for showing us what to do when we face the impossible. Amen. Amen.